Hello, we are back with another holiday cocktail challenge. For the challenge, I asked my Discord community a strange question. You want a bartender to make you something festive, and either tell them that you want a drink inspired by a holiday movie or a drink with a specific alcohol that makes you think of the holiday season. What are you asking for? Well, this next cocktail is something that Ebeneezer Scrooge, pre-ghost visit, would enjoy. My brain immediately answered this prompt with, well, that would likely just be a bottle of port, right? So I started looking at port cocktails. Now, I was fairly positive that I don't like port, but I did have to be sure. I bought the smallest and cheapest bottle of port I could find. I mean, Scrooge wasn't a big spender. Cracked it open and gave it a go, and
Oh, no. No.
yeah, still very much not a part of the port fan club. Taking into account my feelings on the stuff, it's not surprising that I've never come across a port cocktail. The first cocktail that caught my eye was a Port Manhattan over at Basil and Bubbly. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. Place a small handful of ice into your rocks glass of choice. Add 2 ounces of rye whiskey, whichever you have on hand. And try to make sure it all ends up in the glass. Add 1 ounce of port, which replaces the Rosso vermouth of a standard Manhattan. Next, add several dashes of bitters. I used whiskey barrel-aged bitters, which worked super well in this drink. Give your drink a good stir to blend everything together. You can also do this in a separate tumbler if you want more room or wish to strain the ice before serving, but I usually just put everything together in the glass myself because it's less hassle. Manhattans tend to be garnished with either a cherry or an orange peel, sometimes both. But let's be real, Scrooge would likely scowl at such nonsense, so I'm going to admit it. And there we have it, a Port Manhattan. Simple and without fuss. But wait, there's more! A second port cocktail really caught my eye and made me think of Scrooge. Murderer's Row, which can be found over at the aptly named website Port Cocktails. In addition to port, this cocktail calls for pear juice, which I unfortunately could not find in stores, meaning I had to make my own. This drink also calls for blackberries, but as I don't particularly enjoy paying $6 for a small container of mushy berries, I subbed in frozen Saskatoon berries that I had on hand. Add berries to your shaker. This recipe does call for agave, but in trying to stick with Scrooge in mind, I opted for simple syrup instead. Add to the shaker and muddle together. Add 2 ounces of port to the shaker. Followed by 3/4 ounce bourbon. Add 1 ounce of pear juice. And 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice, about half a lemon. Add ice, top your shaker, and shake it up. Retrieve your coupe glass, I like to chill mine beforehand, and start to pour your cocktail in before remembering that this cocktail has muddled berries. Switch to your bar strainer and finish pouring the cocktail into the glass. Again, this drink calls for a pretty garnish of blackberries, but as this is for Scrooge and I am not in possession of any blackberries, we're just gonna skip the garnish. Even with the substitutions, this drink was my favorite. The Saskatoon berries worked really well in this, and I would absolutely serve this up to guests, whether they be merry or of the bah humbug variety. I will see you all in the next holiday cocktail challenge video. Cheers!